In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to play Go Tell It on the Mountain with both hands. It is really important to learn how to play with one hand at a time before you start to learn to play with both hands together, because there are some detailed things that you need to remember in each hand that you play. Okay, so once you have mastered each hand at a time, now you are ready to learn with both hands together. Okay? And I'm going to play the entire song and then I'm going to break it down piece by piece. All right, let's begin. All right, so if you have gone over the tutorial in the left hand and the right hand individually, you will know exactly where your fingers are placed. So in my left hand, I have my fifth finger over the C, second over the G, first finger over the C. So I have 1, 2, okay? In my right hand, so I have my fifth finger over the E, fourth finger over the D, third finger over the C, second finger over the A, first finger over the G. Okay, so this is how your fingers are supposed to be placed when you first play the song. Okay, the very first two notes that I'm going to be playing together is the C in my left hand and E in my right hand. I'm playing go. Okay, go. Okay, now while I am playing the song with both of my hands, notice that my fifth finger is still on the E in my right hand. I have not yet moved my right hand. Okay, so I'm actually just playing go, tell. Okay, so in my left hand, I'm actually creating the rhythm. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go, tell. Go, tell. Okay, so I have C and E at the same time. And then I have G and C alone, played alone. So I have go, tell. Okay, then I'm going to go back into C and E, played at the same time again. So I have go, tell it on. All right. Now, once I played the C and E together the second time, so the first time was go. This is the second time, tell it. Okay, notice I'm playing the D alone, keeping my finger over the C, which you actually don't have to keep your fifth finger over the C because you're actually just going back and forth. So you're releasing pretty quickly, okay? And I would encourage you to practice slow with bits and pieces at a time. And if you struggle with any of the parts of the song, you always want to repeat the matter until you master that. So for instance, you have go, tell it on. Go, tell it on. Okay? So you just continue to repeat that until you master it before you go to the next measure. Okay? So you have go, tell it on. Once you get to the on, you have the G and C together, okay? And you have your C and your right hand, and you're going to play all three notes at the same time. On. So go, tell it on. Go, tell it on. The next part of the song is the mouth. Okay, we're just going to start right there. So we have go, tell it on the mouth. Okay, the mouth. So you're actually going to play the A by itself, and then you're going to play C and G at the same time. Okay, so you have go, tell it on the mouth. Then you just complete that measure. So you have go, tell it on the mountain. Okay. Now, you actually don't have to play the A and the C. That's just really just playing to the melody. But if you are challenging yourself, I would encourage you to challenge yourself to play the extra notes within the melody. Okay, so just to keep it simple, let's show you the simple part first. So you have go, tell it on the mountain. Okay, notice I played the C and the C together, and then back to the G and C. Go, tell it on the mountain. Okay, now if you want to challenge yourself, you can play go, tell it on the mountain. Okay, so you have mount, C and G at the same time. Play the G and C together. Mount. Just repeat that. Mountain. Okay. Mount. So notice I'm playing the A and the C, keeping my fingers over the G and C. So you have mountain. Once you sing the mountain or the 10 out of the mountain, you're playing the C together. So you have mountain. Okay, so go, tell it on the mountain. Okay, next you're going to move both of your hands. Okay, so in your left hand, you're going to go down to the G. Okay. And in the right hand, you're going to move up to the D. This is the very first note that you're going to play. So always remember that your second finger is going to be placed over the D. Over the hills and. Okay. So once you go from go, tell it on the mountain, over the hills and. Okay, let's stop right there. So we have over, so we have G in the left hand and D in the right hand. Okay, over, so over. So you're actually going to play the D twice, but when you play the D the first time, you're actually going to play it with the G in your left hand. So you have over. Once you play the D in your right hand, you're going to once you play the D the second time in your right hand, you're going to go up to the D and G in your left hand. Okay, so you have over the. Okay, then you're going to hit D one more time, which I did not know that. But now that you know, now we both know, we're going to play D 3 times instead of twice. So you have over the hills. And okay, so let's slow down. So we have over the. Okay, so we have go tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and over the hills. Once you get to hills, you're playing G and C at the same time. Hills and. Once you get to and, you have the D and G and D all played at the same time. Okay, so you have over the hills and. Okay, let's do that again. Over the hills and. Let me slow it down. Okay. Then you're going to go back into the C in your left hand, but you're not going to quite yet move your right hand. Okay, everywhere. Okay, so you're going to keep your right hand in the same position, not moving your right hand. So when you go over the hills and everywhere. So when you play every, okay, ev is C and E at the same time. Every, okay. You're gonna play the G and C and G together. Okay, so now you're playing the C and the A at the same time. Then you're gonna go back to the G and your right hand playing along with the G and C. Everywhere. Okay, so everywhere. So we have over the hills and everywhere. Okay, so it's going to take some time to master each part of the song, so don't rush it. This can be very simple as long as you practice repetitively. If you rush through the song, you can have some challenges because there are a lot of parts in the song that you may skip over, and it can cause you to make unnecessary mistakes. So make sure that you're practicing each piece at a time slowly, okay? And then you can gradually move faster, and you'll start to see, oh, I can play with both hands together, okay? So let's keep going. So after over the hills and everywhere, then we're going to go back to go. Once you go back to go tell it on the mountain, you're going to move your right hand, okay? So you're moving back to the first position, which you're going to place your fifth finger over the E, go, okay, and your right hand, go tell it on the mountain. Keeping the same rhythm in the left hand, go tell it on the mountain. That, okay. Once you play that, literally that, so you're going to play the F in your right hand and G and C in your left hand, playing them both at the same time. That Jesus Christ is born. Okay, so Jesus, so you have G and E play together at the same time. Then you're going to play the E again. This time you're playing it with the D and G. Okay, that Jesus, okay, Jesus Christ, G and D at the same time is, now there's one or two ways you can do this. So you can go that Jesus Christ is born. So you can keep it simple, like Jesus Christ is born. You can play it that way, or you can add a little rhythm to it. So you can go that Jesus Christ is. So I'm actually just playing the C alone. Okay, so I'm actually just going that Jesus Christ is born. Okay, and then I'm going to complete the measure with that. So you have born, C and C together at the same time, and then G and C, C, and then you're going to play the C again. Once you go into the verse, you're going to play the C and G and C just to complete the chorus in the song. So that Jesus Christ is born. Wow. So in the verse, you're going to play wow. This is going to be the very first notes that you're playing together. So you're playing G, C, and C. Wow, shep. Okay? So notice that my fingers are in the right position. Okay, C and E at the same time. Birds. G, C, and G. So wow, shepherds kept. This is C in the left hand and G in the right hand. Wow, shepherds kept. Let's do that again. So wow, shepherds kept there. Once you go to the A, you're playing A in your right hand and G and C in your left hand, keeping the same rhythm. So if you just remember to just keep the same rhythm in your left hand, and you're just kind of focusing on the melody in your right hand, you can kind of go along with the song more smoothly. So you have wow, shepherds kept their watching. Okay, now notice in my right hand, I'm just skipping over the notes. So I'm actually just going up the C major arpeggio, which is actually a C major chord, just a C major chord broken down. So C, E, G. While shepherds kept there. Okay, let's slow it down. While shepherds kept their what? Okay, so this is the next few notes. So you have your fifth finger over the C in your left hand, and your fourth finger over the G in your right hand. Okay, so you have while shepherds kept their watching. And then you're just going to continue the rhythm in your left hand, okay? So when you play the E in your right hand, you're going to play the G and C together in your left hand. So you're going, while shepherds kept their watching. And then you're going to play the C and G and C again, okay? So that's just the first line in the verse. Okay, let's try this again. While shepherds kept their watching. Or, okay, so you're going to play the E again with the G and C. So, watching, C, or, then you're going to go down to the F, silent flocks by night. Okay, so when you're going down to the D in your right hand, you're going to play the F in your left hand with your fifth finger. So fifth finger over the F, you're going to play the second finger over the D together. Silent. Okay. So let's go over the first line again. So we have, while shepherds kept their watching, or silent. Okay, when you go into the lent or the silent, you're going to play the C and F and C in your right hand. Okay, or silent flocks. Then you're going to go back into the F and C by C, F, and D. Okay, so let's go over that again. While shepherds kept their watching, or silent flocks by night. Okay? So when you go into night, you have your C and E played at the same time, C in your left hand and E in your right hand. Night, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Then you're going to go into the next line in the verse. So you have, or silent flocks by night. Be. Okay, behold. So when you sing behold, B is going to be G, C, and C at the same time. So you have G and C in your left hand and C in your right hand. Okay? So you have, or silent flocks by night. Behold. Okay, back to the C and E at the same time. Behold throughout the heavens. Okay? So it's the same line as the first line in the verse. When you play the E and the G and C together, there shone, okay, you're going to play D and D at the same time. D in your left hand, D in your right hand. There shone okay. Now, when you play there shone, you actually want to move your hand, your right hand, down, because you want to prepare to play the B, A, and G. Okay, so behold throughout the heavens there shone. So notice I played the E in my right hand with the fifth finger. I played there shone a holy light. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. So behold throughout the heavens there, okay, shown, okay, shown, So you're going to play the D twice in your right hand, and you're going to play D in your left hand, and then you're going to play A and D in your left hand together. So there, shown, whole. Okay, so we have your D in the left hand again, and we have B in the right hand. There, shown, whole. So the A is kind of like a passing note or passing tone. So you have there, shown, holy light. Or you can also play it like there shone a holy light. You can keep it very simple. So what I did is I just did there shone a holy light. Okay. If you want to add a little rhythm to it, you can go there shone a whole. So holy light. Okay. So you're going to go down to the G major. So after you have there shone a holy light, G major. So you have G, B, and D in your left hand, and you have G in your right hand. Light. Okay, so then you're going to go up to the F in your right hand, and you're going to play F, the F major chord in your left hand, F, A, and C. I'm sorry, F, A, C. Okay, I kind of played the A and C at the same time. So when you play the light, you're going to go back into the chorus. Go, tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go, tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is. Okay, now this is where it changes. In the outro of the song, after you play with that Jesus Christ is born. Okay, so when you go into born, you're going to play C in your right hand, and you're going to go up to the A in your left hand. So you have that Jesus Christ is born. So you have A in your left hand and C in your right hand. Born. Finish the rest of the chords. In that measure, you have E and A played at the same time. Born. Okay. Now notice when I get down to the F, I'm playing F by itself in the left hand. And then when I get to the C and F, I'm playing the F in my right hand. So I'm playing C, F, and F at the same time. So you have born, that Jesus Christ is born. Okay, so you have that Jesus. Okay, you're going to play all three notes in your left hand at the same time, G, D, and G, and you're going to play E along with the chord in your left hand. It's actually not a full chord, it's just a perfect fifth. Okay, so you're playing the perfect fifth, that Jesus Christ is born. Jesus, you're going to play this twice. Jesus Christ. When you get to Christ, you're going to go down to the D. In your right hand, you're going to keep the same notes in your left hand, G, D, and G. That Jesus Christ is. So C is your passing tone, and then you're going to go back to the D. So you have Jesus Christ is, okay, D, and then born. And you end it with C, G, C in your left hand, and C in your right hand, all at the same time. Born. Okay, so let's go over the chorus, the last part of the chorus one more time. So you have, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born.